Well, hello everyone. Welcome back. It's been a long time since I did one of these videos, but thought thought it warrants it now. I thought I would do a video on the Beacon app that helps server owners for Arc ASA or Arc ASE or Power World. I believe Beacon does now as well, which is handy. Where it helps you set up your settings properly without any issues. You could use the Beacon app, obviously, just a quick one. This is not a sponsor ad whatsoever, but it's to help some of you guys use the app flawlessly. Otherwise, if you're adamant and up to it, you can always go to the Wikipedia page and go line by line and set up the settings the hard way, or you could just jump in and download the app, go to their website, which is this one here. Use beacon.app/download. Download whichever one works for you. As you can see, it tells you it does Ascended, Evolved, and Power World. Otherwise, you just go to, if you're just ASE, just use the Legacy one, which I think still free. Don't quote me on that one. Otherwise, there is some paid aspects to this one, but you can use their offline mode. You just don't get the full usage. Unfortunately, I stopped paying for this because I got used to knowing what I'm doing and what I'm looking out for now. But once you download the app, open up this, you'll come to this little part. I'm using offline mode. All right. Once you go on offline mode, click on new project, choose the game that you wish that you want the settings to do. For me, I'm just going to do ASA. Go okay, and then we go into this lovely tab, which breaks down into everything. What I would do, hypothetically, is I would start from the top. Don't worry about accounts. You don't need to worry about that. What I would do, I always start from the top. Start with breeding multipliers and have a play around with it. It tells you down here in the bottom in so much detail what the multiplier is going to come out as. I would honestly have a play around with it. So, like, honestly, if you want, mature speed at 10, it'll tell you what the mature speed time will come to. But it won't imprint, as you can see. So therefore, then there you've got to sort of play with the imprinting speed as well. So imprinting period is 8 hours. You don't want it at 8 hours. You want to set it to 2, for example. So then it starts changing, right? Certain dinosaurs you're going to have to go around with and go, okay, cool. I'm going to need to try and get that to 50% or 100%. But honestly, it's just one of those things where you got to find play around. If you just click the tab here on that this little I'm going to say Excel. I'm so used to this. It's sort of like Excel. Tab up there just so you can see what can't imprint. As you can see, hardy dodos, the things that you can't implement, don't need to worry about that. It's the Gigasauruses. Oh, sorry, Gigas. I should sorry. Gigas is what you want to look at and go, okay, this is what I need to get it to if I want to play around with it. Like I said, you've got to play around with it, especially if you start increasing multipliers. Right? Have a look at that. Play around with everything and it'll adjust accordingly. A lot of this stuff I don't usually touch too much, like incubation speed. I'll touch maybe just a little bit, or just to see what the incubation time is. Go from there. For me personally, I don't want it too high because I don't know, makes things too fast. Go to the next one. Crafting costs. Now again, you can add individual crafting costs for blueprints, dyes, eggs, whatever you want. You can adjust it. So let's go for example, boots. For example, I can change it and say it's now 1 thatch. You can individually change those if you do wish. Me personally, again, I wouldn't do it. Creature adjustments. Now, again, you can adjust each individual creature in the wild, but remember, the more information you add, the more the servers have to read before they launch. So it'll take longer to launch because it's got to go through all of that stuff. But ultimately, it can help if you want to do individual ones, like Gigas, for example. You want higher damage on the Gigas. Argentavises, you name it. You do whatever you want. Taming damage, taming resist, all of that. This is where you're going to do the creature adjustment. There's quite a few things that you can change here. I haven't played around with this that much. I know what it does, but that's what you can do. Creature spawns is another thing you can sort of set up with, but you've sort of got to go into the game if memory serves me. So say, for example, let's go, we want a new spawn location. Go swamp, replace difficulty, add default to swamp. And then from there, I can adjust the spawn accordingly. Again, it's not one that I've played around with too much. I've only done it once, but you do need to sort of go in there and understand where you're going to be putting it X, Y, Z. What the spawn chances are. Again, it's something that you're going to have to play around with. Minimum levels, maximum levels, level offsets, level multipliers. Basically, level multipliers sort of lead into the what is it? And quote me if I'm wrong. The levels between dinos. So if you go into the wild dinos, you notice how you'll find level 12s, but you won't find 13s or 14s. You'll find 15s or 16s, that sort of thing. But again, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played around with this or looked into it. Again, it's something that I haven't played around too much with, but you can. You just sort of got to lean into it a little bit more. And if you're a little bit unsure, my friend ChatGPT or Gemini, you take a screenshot of this and take it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can explain it to you a little bit. Probably way better than me. Let's be honest. Custom configs, per normal. These are the type of things when you have mods as well. So I usually add my custom config into this one for the mods. This is something that you could do, or literally all you got to do is just start typing away. Or you go to the mod server or website, and I just click across and I just muck around with it there, and it's already there, and it'll put it where it needs to go. Okay. Day and night cycles, one of the most important ones of all. Most people hate nighttime. As you can see, day speed, it literally breaks it down and tells you how long the daytime's going to last and how long the nighttime's going to last. You don't want nighttime? That's all right. Put it at 0.4. Wait, hold on. I did that wrong. We want it faster. 1.5. You can go 2 times. 3 times. 11 minutes at nighttime. Go straight down to the day. You don't want night. Pretty sure if memory serves me, you set it to 0, but don't quote me. I remember doing this, and I think I fucked it last time. But potentially, you know what you do? Just put it to like 8 times, 10 times. Do whatever you like, right? Me personally, I don't mind nighttime. You want daytime to last forever for the entire time people are on? 0.2 goes for 6 hours and 31. Have a play around with it. Most people don't like day. Honestly, most people don't like night. But they're the servers that you can play around with. It tells you tells you the breakdown of day and night. Again, you can play around with it. I'm going to leave it at that just so you can see it at the end. The decay timers, I think this is important, especially for PvE servers. I used to do them on PvP. It's entirely up to you. But you can set it up so decay timers for each individual structures, right? So thatch is 4 days. That's the normal. Wood 8, so on and so on and so on and so on until they get to tech is 20 days. You can increase that to the point where for those who are on your servers, every couple of weeks they have a chance of logging in and not having to worry about their structures disappearing. I would definitely play around with this as much as you can. You can go 12 times, which is 48 days. You can go to 2 times, which doubles it as per normal. Only decay uncapped core structures when the structures have been, for PvP, for example, when the structures have been half destroyed. It'll start decaying those structures, so you don't have to worry about it. Very simple, this stuff. Very simple. Difficulty is a good one. Maximum creature level wild. You want this more? You want it at 200? You want it at 2000? It will literally adjust everything down below. You don't have to fuck around with this. Excuse my language. Excuse my French. You don't have to fuck around with this. You just type in the wild level you want. You want 1000? Man, it'll implement everything down below. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's it. I'm gonna leave it at 1,000. Engram controls. This one takes some fiddling around with. As you can see, I fiddle around more with the unlock points than the engrams themselves. Like, you can, if you really want to, say, for example, let's double click that. I'm going to disable that. So no, simple bullet is now disabled. No one will ever be able to unlock that unless I turn that back on. Okay. This one I play around with more, where I go, look, that's the normal point distribution system to unlock the items people want. You know, towards the end, you know, say people are getting towards the end, you know, I keep it as per normal. I want to be generous and go, you know what? I want people to have 2,000 points when they get to 84, and it'll give them 2,000 points at 80. Super simple for unlock points. If you want to give more points so people can unlock everything, you could do it that way, or you could just go to this. Enable points required 0, and it just automatically unlocks. Or you could click to automatically unlocks as well. There's two options. You can set it to 0 and play around with it, or you just go automatically unlocks when you hit the 34. You don't need mods to have the auto unlock. You can do it yourself. Very easy. Okay. But again, it's really up to you. Line by line, if you go, I think it's advanced, auto unlock engrams while leveling, you can just set that and it'll automatically set it all up for the rest of them. That easy. Again, I'll leave it like that. It's entirely up to however you want to do the server, right? General settings. Again, this is some of the general settings that you want. Bad words, there is a URL. I can put that in the description. And then you just copy and paste it there so people can't use bad words on your servers. It's blocked out. If you're a PvE server, I'd definitely have this all on. No, don't actually. That's for the PvE timer when you're PvP. My bad. If you auto want to set up a PvE timer on specific servers for your PvP, so people can PvP, but then on your PvP servers, you can set it up so there's PvE designated where everyone can go out and farm and be friendly. Didn't work on my servers. It might work on yours. Entirely up to you. There is a PvE setting further down where you could turn it on to PvE. It's really up to you. Your cave settings, they're all there. No building structures and Genesis mission areas. Now Genesis isn't out yet, so don't even worry about that. You can set up no structure limits. Range, it's entirely up to you. Again, you can play around with the range. It's something that's in here further down the track. Your clusters. This is probably an important one if you want your clusters. I leave all of this stuff on apart from we want to keep that. I think, don't quote me on it. I'll have to go back and redo this. Otherwise, I might go through chat to do it. But one of these you want off. Otherwise, people can download their characters off the map. If memory serves, hold on one tick. I'll do it later. But anyway, yeah, just play around with this. If you leave it on, it enables everything. If I switch it off, it disables it. Right? It's entirely up to you. If you've got a cluster, you definitely need to look at playing with this. Usually, like I said, I usually leave everything on but one thing. And I'm pretty sure players from transferring out of the server. Yeah, that's the one. No player uploads. The downloads is fine for you want people to transfer from server to server, right? It's the uploads. No, I take that back. Don't even worry about it. I'll come back to everyone. I'll put it in the description, but yeah, leave it as is. It's entirely up to you if you don't want people to transfer on and off your servers or your items on and off your servers. If you don't want items or creatures going from server to server and you just want them to stuck on one server, but they can transfer the characters, turn off, go no creature downloads, no creature uploads, no item downloads, and no item uploads. And that will keep just player to player. If you don't want creature and items, this is it. Okay. Upload expiry. I just leave this as per normal. Don't play around with this. It's entirely up to you. But honestly, that's just the expiry times. If if someone gets to come back to the server, honestly, that's on them. But it's super easy to bring back their character as long as you have backups. Cryopods, you could play with the cryopods, but me personally, I just use a modded cryopod because it's so much better. Because the cryopods in Arc System sucks balls. Again, entirely up to you if you want to muck around with this. Cryo sickness and PV, I switched that off. But again, it's entirely up to you. I run PvE servers. I don't do PvP. You could go no diseases. That's always fun. I leave them on. If people get disease, that's on them. Sucked in. Go get the medic. Go get the meds to heal yourself. Item drops, fly modes. There's so much detail that you could do. Hex stores, idle players, login, loot quality. You can increase the loot quality if you really wanted to. Again, something that I don't do. Mesh protection. I have it on. You can have it off. It's entirely up to you. You could add the mods here too if you like, if you know the mod IDs. I don't do that. I use specific Arc apps that help me with that. The events, it's entirely up to you. Photo mode, you could disable it if you hate, especially for the PvP servers. You know, you get a lot of those guys that'll do the photo mode just to clip through walls and all sorts of stuff so people can see what's inside your base. It's if I was PvP, I'd disable that. Player community platforms, player communication. You could do everything. There is so much detail. Food stamina, damage, structure damage, structure pickup. Always have that on, unless you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. Survival of the fittest. If you're doing survival of the fittest, this is for that part, and I think it goes on for a while down here. There's taming multipliers. There's a tribe limit. Currents XP multipliers. Again, it's very detailed on what you want to do. Everything else as well. So admin list URL. This is the band list that you want to add. Oh no, there's a band list there. Keep it as that. Otherwise, you can add other band lists if people have uploaded it, so you don't get those fuckheads. Excuse my language. Set up. Make sure your autosave set to 15 minutes. Honestly, as long as your PC or your server box can handle it, I would leave it at 15 minutes. And yeah, then there's the rest of the stuff. It's entirely up to you what you do. You know, low memory mode. A lot of this stuff, if you use in a server app, you won't need to really play around with this stuff because the server app will do it yourself. Honestly, most of the stuff down here where it's got everything else, I wouldn't even worry about if you're using a server app. If you're not using a server app and you're doing it all yourself, I would go into this fine tune and do everything bit by bit, line by line. Go, yeah, I do want that, or no, I don't want that. It's entirely up to you. Harvest rates, very important thing. Again, you can set the harvest rate of your multiplier. I generally leave it on 1. I don't know. It depends on what you're doing. Like if you're on a 10 times server, 20 times server, put it on 10 times, put it on 20 times. You can increase the health as well of the harvest. So say for example, from a tree, it takes 2 hits on the tree. You can increase it so it takes more hits on the tree, but you're farming a lot more, so the tree lasts there longer. Again, it's really up to you. Player damage, if you want to increase the player harvest damage, again, it's entirely up to you. I don't play around with it too much. The only thing I probably do is do that. Tab 2 and 2, and that's all I usually do. But again, it's everyone's different. Entirely up to you. Item stat limits. Again, we played around with this when ASA first came out, because they screwed up the drops, right? Now you can individually go in there and stop it. So let's go in here and go. Where is it? Do it. Used to be able to. Let's go armor. You can individually, right, change the armor, the durability, the damage, depending on what it is. So weapons, I'm on armor, for example. So what gets picked up or spawned out or whatever drops. We played around with it on the server when ASA first came out because they screwed up the drops, and everything was coming out at like 1,000 armor or things like that. This can prevent that. I again don't play around with it too much. I've played around with it a little bit for mainly armor and armor and weapons, but it's entirely up to you. Okay? It's entirely up to you if you want to do it. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But this is to help set it up for what people will find on your server. Leave it as normal. That's what they're going to get. You want to increase it. That's what they're going to find. Again, probably would play around with it before you do it. Levels and experience. Again, it's broken down into tames and players. I don't play around with this too much on players. Tames I usually do and go, all right, one level, max level, 99,000, whatever I want. Experience, sorry, for each level, 100 type of thing. That's what's going to happen. From level 1, 100 experience. That's all it's going to take. Add a new one, 100 experience for level 2. You could keep going until you get to the last one. Keep duplicating it as much as you want. I could just go copy V, although it didn't work for whatever reason it used to, and just keep going all the way through. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. Like I said, I play around with the teams more. I don't play around with the players as much. I guess if you want an extra 100 levels on your tames go past the normal, this is what you want to play around with. But you're going to have to do it, each individual one. Man, you could go auto levels if you really wanted to. But I would highly suggest to go, maybe play around with it at each individual level. If you do it that way at the auto levels, and you can set it up to 100 and then do the experience towards the end, but it's up to you. So for 100 extra levels for my tames, it's only going to cost 100 experience. Way too easy of a game super easy in my opinion for a game, but yeah. But we'll leave it there, and we'll show you at the end. Loot drops. Well, this is the thing that I played around with the most. But say if you wanted to change your island spawn white drops, this is the thing that you do. You click on that. You can add artifacts to it. You want a specific artifact so people don't have to go cave diving. This is it. This is what you do. White drops will only now spawn artifacts. Mind you, you change the white drops, nothing else will spawn for them beside what you put. That's what I'll say there. We played around with this again when Ark first launched on ASA, and they screwed around with the drops, so we had to manually do the drops on what people would find, and then we had to manually go back and do the item stat limits as well, because they were way too strong. So don't need to really do that now that they fixed it, but you can manually do whatever drops you want to have whatever you want in them. It's entirely up to you. Look, that's basically it. Servers, stack size, multipliers. Cool. It's now time to port this. Yeah. Stay with me. We'll find out how to. Anyway, yeah, supposedly, and I do forget that unfortunately Beacon's one of those things that you do need to pay for. But like I said, with once you pay for it once, I would do this set up multiple times as much as you can, save it, and then export it. Once you export it, it'll save the config files. Unfortunately, it's not going to let me do that. So if I get rid of, where is it? I think I got rid of it. Get rid of that. We don't want that. Creature spawns. We don't want that. Sorry, bear with me. Engram control. Like I said, we were playing around with this. So, there we go. So there's some stuff that's hidden behind a paywall. Fully get. I paid for it once, did my thing, got rid of it, grabbed everything I want, and I don't need to do it anymore because I know what I'm doing now. But this is basically it. Once you set up your settings, you go to export, save. It'll save the game user settings. Then you've got to do the same thing for game ini as well. So once you do that, we'll just save it. Excuse me. Save. Now they're both there. Let's just double check that they're there. I forgot where I saved it. I'm an idiot. Here they are, documents. Game. Yep, they're all there. They work. Sweet. Sweet. Everything that we've inputted is all there. Awesome. That's exactly what we want. The only thing it always leaves, it leaves a beacon code to show that beacon wasn't when I used it. You can actually, if you really wanted to, just get rid of that, go up and hit save. And that's it. Oh yeah, session name. We didn't call the session name, but anyway, that's all you need to know how to use that. When you're done, all you do is you drag it across and you put it in your thing. There's two things that we didn't do. It's the ports for your ASA server. You just add it in here and your ASA server name, and that's it. That's as simple as that. You grab those two, copy them over, take them over to your server file. Give me one tick. So here we are. We're in my server box. Let me close that. I don't care for my IP address because people need to connect. These are all my current active Arc servers going. Stuff. What I tend to do, because I use this ASA dedicated server. I pay for it myself. It was 13 euros or whatever it was, and it's super cheap. It just makes life so much easier anyway. Again, not sponsored. Go into your file location. So I'm going to open my any file on this one. You just got to go to config, Windows save. Let me just go back out for you guys. So wherever your server is, right? Wherever your server is. So we're in Ashros server. Shoot a game. Saved. Config. Windows server. And that's where I post it. My game ini is already there. You just copy and paste it in there, and it's all done. Start up your server, and away you go. Test out to make sure all the settings are correct. That it's the way you want. If you don't like it, you just go back to Beacon, adjust some of the settings, and go from there. Like I said, some of it's stuck behind paywall, but you don't really need that additional stuff. You don't need creature spawns if you don't want it. If you do, it's stuck behind a paywall. Loot drops stuck behind a paywall. Creature adjustments, again, stuck behind a paywall. All the others, they're normal. You can play around with it as much as you want, and away you go. Honestly, guys, I hope you found this okay, or you found this in helpful in some sort of way. But Beacon is probably one of the best things that I've used in a long time. If you don't want to use Beacon and you like doing it the other way, do it the other way. If you want something simple, you could probably just grab your settings from your Arc server and just go straight into ChatGPT and go, ChatGPT, change the following, and ChatGPT will probably do it for you. I think I've done it a couple of times in ChatGPT because sometimes it's easier. I couldn't find a line, so I just sent it to it. But in saying that, I could have Controlled F as easy. I just got a little bit lazy, although I did that the hard way. But anyway, beside the point. Hopefully that helps, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.